Now on CoastTV News.
After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands.
Biden's goodbye with days remaining in his term as president. The mixed message is Biden gave in a farewell address.
It's clear and bitter cold now, with increasing clouds and temperatures creeping above freezing as we go into this afternoon. A few snow showers this evening, even milder to start the weekend with showers and maybe ending as Sunday snow. Details coming up.
Shelter from the cold will tell you where you can go if you need a warm place to sleep as temperatures continue to drop.
A stay-length standoff, the pushback against Ocean City's short-term rental plan, and the decision made by the council in the town.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we continue with our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. It is Thursday, January 16th, 2025.
And Paige, we're moving closer to a holiday weekend for many. I know a lot of students. I got one in my house will not have school on Monday.
Definitely. And maybe that's exciting for a lot of people, too, if they want to go to the inauguration. I saw some people asking if there were, like, bus trips going down there. So if you're already off work and you wanted to go see something historical, might as well, why not? But you're going to probably want to bundle up if you're going outside for any reason on Monday. So we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahy. Now, Bob, it doesn't look like it's really getting any warmer.
Not right now. Just checked my home station in Millsboro, 13 degrees there. I know we had 11 in Laurel earlier and everybody else falling in between. A little warmer, so to speak, at the beaches, upper teens, Bethany Beach at Rehoboth 14 and Seaford 13 in Salisbury right now. Thankfully, the winds have backed off. A little bit of a breeze at the coast. So feels like temperatures pretty much mirroring the actual temperatures. This is plain cold. Bundle up the kids, and make sure you warm up the car and get everything warmed up. Grab that warm beverage. As we're looking at mostly clear skies this morning, we are seeing some clouds increasing now across D.C. and the I-95 corridor with thicker clouds, even snow across the Ohio Valley as a warm front is heading our way. No, it's not tropical air behind it, Pacific air that will warm us up a little bit with time. But we're looking at temperatures warming through the 20s into the lower 30s by about 12:30 with mostly cloudy skies. Then we're above freezing at 3 o'clock for most of us, melting more of that snow as skies become overcast, and then watch for refreeze as we go through the evening hours. Ferry riding forecast is a cold one, 20s and then 30s into the early afternoon with increasing clouds. Winds turn to the south, and they're a little lighter than they have been recently.
Thank you, Bob. And as you just saw, we are experiencing some brutally cold temperatures this morning, and that cold is especially dangerous for those who are homeless.
And Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Lewis. Elisa, you're at one of the many Code Purple shelters along the coast that's trying to help those who don't have a warm place to stay.
Good morning, Matt and Paige. I actually just checked the weather on my phone. It says in Lewis right now it's about 18 degrees outside. Even just being out here for a few minutes is uncomfortable, so it's hard to imagine what it would feel like to sleep outside in these conditions. And right now in Lewis, I'm standing at the St. Jude the Apostle Church, which is actually one of the many Code Purple locations here in Sussex County. And the Code Purple organization provides people with a warm and safe place to stay as the temperatures do drop. And the shelters also provide people with a cozy place to stay so that they can be comforted during these difficult times. The organization has shelters in Seaford, Lewis, Georgetown, Milford, and Rehoboth Beach. Most of the shelters start check-in around 8:30 p.m. and are open until 7 a.m. And we spoke with the site director for Code Purple at the Cape, who talked with us about the importance of keeping these shelters up and running, and we'll hear from him a little later on. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa Weber. Now, she's out in those cold conditions this morning. It got us here wondering about some of the coldest days in history for our community. So here is what we found. We're going to go back almost 42 years ago to the day Lewis posted a temperature of minus 11. Similar part of the calendar, 1985 for Ocean City. The town had a minus 1 degree temperature. One of our most recent ones was just 11 years ago in Georgetown. They had a temp of minus 5. Millsboro, they have the distinction of having the coldest day in Delaware history, minus 17 on January 17th, 1893. Boy, Paige, this time of the year, it just screams cold temperatures on Delmarva.
They could measure the weather in the 1800s? I'm just kidding, Matt. All right, we'll continue moving on. Just joking. Now, I got Bob laughing. Now, it worked. Amid the brutal winter weather, DelDOT is sharing some reminders for all the drivers out there. As the temperatures drop, tire pressure will drop as well. And DelDOT says you got to make sure your tires are filled. Have a mechanic check your battery, and also think about using some rubber floor mats. And make sure you keep an emergency kit in case your car breaks down.
We're now going to take a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C. It was only a couple of hours ago. President Biden, the only president ever from the state of Delaware, gave his farewell speech inside that building. And during the speech, the president claimed Americans are better off after his 4 years in office, and he made his case with a list of actions taken by his administration.
This included the latest in Israel-Hamas ceasefire and hostage deal. NBC's Chris Pallone shows us what Biden highlighted about his time in office and his remarks on the future.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern.
In his farewell address to the nation, President Biden with a warning about what he sees as a looming threat.
That's the dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people.
By the military.
Reminiscent of Dwight Eisenhower's farewell 60 years ago when that outgoing president warned of the emerging military-industrial complex. Biden striking a similar tone about the ultra-wealthy, as tech billionaires like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have flocked to President-elect Trump's side after his election win.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
Biden also warning about what he calls the tech-industrial complex.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit.
The farewell came hours after what might be one of his crowning foreign policy achievements, announcing a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration.
Biden leaves office with extremely low approval ratings, but believes history will judge his legacy kindly.
It will take time to feel the full impact of all we've done together.
For all the warnings, Biden ended on an optimistic note, emphasizing his belief that the nation will endure.
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too.
Some of President Joe Biden's final words in a public service career spanning more than 5 decades. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
And before his work in the White House, President Biden spent decades serving the people of Delaware. In 1972, he was elected U.S. Senator, making him the youngest Delawarean to serve in the Senate. 1991, he helped return at least 1,180 acres of previously Army and Navy-controlled coastal land back to Delaware. 2008, elected vice president, the highest office held by a Delawarean outside of his presidency. In 2020, after a close race, it took 4 days to determine, he was elected president. New this morning, we have some images of a big crash that happened in Lewis. It was on Beaver Dam Road just before 1 a.m. What you're looking at now is the Lewis Fire Department on the scene. At least 2 vehicles were involved, causing the part of that road to be closed. Information is still pretty limited at this time, but we'll update the CoastTV app and our website as we continue to learn more.
Got developing news in Millsboro. The town is seeking help from DelDOT to work on some new traffic safety measures. DelDOT's Director of Community Relations, C.R. McLeod, shared with CoastTV a traffic signal will go at the intersection of Route 24 and Plantation Lakes. But they're also looking at lowering speed limits.
We've actually met with the town this week and have asked for some additional data and information that will allow our traffic engineers to really evaluate that request and look at what would be the most effective speed in that general area.
And DelDOT says designs for that intersection are in progress, but no timeline has yet been set.
Earlier this week, Ocean City Council debated the idea of a month-long minimum length of stay for renters in certain neighborhoods. But after some fierce pushback during a public comment period, that plan was quickly rejected. That doesn't mean the idea of a minimum stay is dead, however. The council's now going to look at a possible week-long length of stay in some neighborhoods, something one realtor says might still be a problem.
Most of them want to be able to offset the high costs of having a property in Ocean City. And then when they're able to afford to not have to rent, they don't.
The next time the council will talk about the proposed changes will be during a work session, and then from there, it'll either move forward to a first reading or it'll be taken out entirely. This all brings us now to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what do you think is the ideal minimum stay for R1 rentals?
Okay, here are your updated results. A little bit of change in the voting. Still 7 days with 58%. That leads the way. A couple more votes coming in for 2 days at 24%. And then we got that distribution of no minimum, 5 days and 14 days. No minimum, 12% there. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com or our mobile app. Purdue Farms has agreed to pay $4 million for reported child labor violations at its poultry processing plant in Accomack, Virginia.
An investigation from the U.S. Department of Labor found that Purdue worked with a third-party staffing agency and employed children in hazardous roles.
Yeah, the report found that some of the children were working past 7 p.m. on school nights. Purdue has agreed to a series of compliance measures.
Meanwhile, last week, the Georgetown Purdue plant triggered a hazmat response when chemicals were mistakenly mixed together by a supplier. DENREC will continue to investigate that incident.
Long-term solution for Berlin's lack of parking is about to become reality. The town recently announced it will be opening a brand new parking lot. This will be at the corner of West Street and Washington Street. We went there. Some local business owners tell us that they hope the expanded parking will provide a better downtown experience.
All right, we're just getting started this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, push toward Beach Patrol building in Rehoboth Beach. We'll tell you how much over budget this project still is and give you an estimated timeline of completion.
Also ahead, Miss Pillion traffic moves. We're talking about the possible solutions Millsboro's requesting from DelDOT to protect the Miss Pillion Bridge.
And next, presidential visits on the peninsula. We look at Delmarva's history with the commander-in-chief. Coast TV News Today is back after this.
Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. It's time to huddle up and talk football.
We're talking touchdowns, tackles, and everything in between. From game-changing plays to the latest news around the league.
We'll take a deep dive into all of the plays that made a difference.
We'll see you in the end zone.
Catch the End Zone, Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. Sponsored by Tyndall's Casual Furniture and North Star Heating and Air Conditioning.
There's only one place to go for your next vehicle. I.G. Burton Chevrolet of Berlin. Trusted since 1908 for our expert team, massive selection, and our unbeatable prices. Together, let's drive new 2024 Silverados up to $12,000 off MSRP. Or make no payments for 90 days on select new 2024 EV models. Visit us today. And remember,
nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Nobody beats an I.G. Burton deal.
I've been thinking about renovating my garage floor, and suddenly I'm seeing signs everywhere. The universe keeps hinting, even at my local gas company. Pinnacle Concrete is everywhere. And again, multiple signs at the print store. The signs are too strong to ignore. It's time to call. With so many options, my dream is taking shape. And now, I'm not just seeing signs, I'm living proof. Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
While Rehoboth Beach is known as the nation's summer capital, it's not the only community in our area to host a visit from the leader of the free world. And in this week's Coastal Connections, Matt Pensick takes us through some of the history of the trips made by past presidents of the United States.
As Joe Biden is wrapping up the end of his term as president, we still expect to see scenes like this. A retired Biden taking a walk on the beach near his North Shore's home. No man before, during, or potentially after serving as president has visited Delmarva as often as Biden. Then again, no other had a home on our peninsula. Several other members of the exclusive presidential club have spent time in our area. This is a 1909 photo of Teddy Roosevelt in Georgetown. Now, considering the clothing and that there are leaves on the trees in the background, this trip to the Sussex County seat was likely after Roosevelt left office in March of that year. In June of 1922, Warren G. Harding made a one-day trip that spanned nearly the entire state of Delaware. This is his stop in Milford as thousands lined the street to greet the president. According to the New York Times, Harding made stops in Georgetown, Harbison, in Cool Spring before boarding the presidential yacht anchored at the breakwater in Lewis and sailing off to end his trip. Richard Nixon made several trips during his time as vice president and later as president. Most were visits to his good friend, John J. Williams, at the Delaware senator's cottage in Rehoboth Beach. Just before winning a landslide election in 1972, Nixon made a trip to Assateague Island as a guest of Whaleyville native and former chair of the Federal Reserve, Thomas McCabe. In the early days of his campaign for president, Jimmy Carter made a visit to Georgetown where, according to newspaper reports, he spoke about farming and the price of grain. Bill Clinton spent the 2000 Memorial Day weekend on Assateague. Part of that visit included an announcement that directed the Departments of Commerce and Interior to create a national mission for managing beaches and marine habitat. In 2016, then-candidate Donald Trump spoke at a jam-packed Stephen Decatur High School gym, hitting on one of his favorite talking points.
For creating jobs as a president, honestly, you either have that instinct or you don't.
The man who beat Trump in 2020, Joe Biden, now has more time to spend and take in all that comes with living near the ocean. With Coastal Connections, I'm Matt Pensick.
This morning's weather forecast courtesy of Baths by Spicer Brothers, a Delmarva tradition for over 20 years.
New year, new bath. Bring in 2025 with big savings from Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Right now, get 20% off all upgrades, plus save 25% on your entire bathroom project. Baths by Spicer Brothers can bring your vision to life with safe and accessible tub-to-shower conversions.
Our factory-certified team guarantees 5-star professional installation completed in as little as 1 day.
Call today and save 20% off all upgrades and 25% off your entire bathroom project.
Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Dedication, determination, and drive. That's what's needed to be a DSN Scholar Athlete, brought to you by your Salisbury Honda dealer.
Each month, we'll award a $1,000 scholarship to a Delmarva senior that excels in the classroom and in sports.
They must have a B average or higher and a drive for good sportsmanship.
Nominate your champion today on the Features tab on DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com.
The DSN Scholar Athlete, sponsored by your Salisbury Honda dealer.
Turn your home into a masterpiece with Artwork Painting. Local professional painters at an affordable price.
Artwork Painting did an excellent job with our house. We were really happy with all of the pieces of work they did, the drywall work, the walls, the trim. I would definitely recommend Artwork Painting for your house.
Artwork Painting treats our customers and their homes with care, delivering quality work and experiences. Call Artwork Painting now for a free same-day estimate. Artwork Painting, keeping Southern Delaware beautiful inside and out.
The weather is brought to you by Spicer Brothers Construction. Born here to serve here.
New year, new bath. Bring in 2025 with big savings from Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Right now, get 20% off all upgrades, plus save 25% on your entire bathroom project. Baths by Spicer Brothers can bring your vision to life with safe and accessible tub-to-shower conversions.
Our factory-certified team guarantees 5-star professional installation completed in as little as 1 day.
Call today and save 20% off all upgrades and 25% off your entire bathroom project.
Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Time is 6:19. You are looking live at the bright lights of Salisbury. We are waiting for the warm-up today. Bob, and warm-up is a liberal generous term, I should say.
I wouldn't be breaking out the beach umbrella, the bathing suit, or anything like that, Matt. We're warming up, okay, from very cold levels. Here's our storyline. We're cold today. We're melting snow and possibly some evening snow showers. So this should say today, as we'll see temperatures above freezing. And then for the weekend, showers Saturday, and then Sunday, showers changing to a little bit of snow into the evening and maybe accumulating snow. But right now, it's cold. 18 in Bethany Beach, 17 in Rehoboth. I checked in Millsboro, 13 there, 14 in Seaford, 13 in Salisbury. And I know Laurel had a temperature around 11 about a half hour ago, as thankfully the winds are calm for most of us. A little bit of a breeze along the coast, so it feels like temperatures pretty much mirroring the actual temperatures, just plain cold, as we're looking at mainly clear skies, but that's not going going to last too long, as we've got clouds now increasing through the I-95 corridor, and they will overspread Delmarva as we go through the morning hours. So increasing clouds through the day. We've got snow showers across the Ohio Valley right now, and that's in advance of a warm front. So we're looking at Pacific air behind this front, not Arctic air, that is pushing in, and that is triggering some of the snow out ahead of that warm front. Here's Futurecast this morning. It's clear and cold. We've got temperatures in the teens and then teens and 20s, slowly warming into the low to mid 20s by mid-morning, and the clouds are increasing too. So by noon, we're mainly cloudy, temperatures right around that freezing mark as we're melting snow, and more of that melting with temperatures 34 in Millsboro, maybe 34 in Rehoboth and Lewis and Georgetown as well. And as we go through the evening, cloudiness, temperatures get back close to freezing. Watch for refreeze as we go into this evening. Then there is a chance of a few snow showers or snow flurries. Not expecting any accumulation as we go through the evening hours. Then by midnight, we start to clear it out. And by Friday morning, we're looking at temperatures in the 20s and low 30s. And then by Friday afternoon, temperatures in the 30s to low 40s. So we'll be melting more snow in full sunshine. Feels like temperatures in the teens this morning. It does improve a little bit by this afternoon, feeling like 20s, and then even more tolerable as we go into Friday morning, feeling like teens and 20s and then 30s by the afternoon. Fast forwarding to the weekend, increasing clouds. I think we'll see some rain showers with temperatures in the 40s on Saturday. Then we see a cold front sliding through on Sunday, and that stalls offshore. And we're going to see a little energy come up in the form of rain, changing to snow, I think, maybe from around Chincoteague up to Ocean City, up into Bethany Beach as well. That's where the heavier snow could be, with lighter snow off to the north and west. And then that scoots out to sea as we go through the evening hours, followed by the coldest air of the season as we go into next week. Here's a European model's take on just how much snow we could see. Maybe about an inch in Millsboro, close to 3 in Berlin, 1 to 2 along the coast, with lighter amounts off to the north and west. Behind this system, the coldest air of the season for Inauguration Day and MLK Day, looking bitterly cold as we go into next week. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 35 today, and then 24 as we go into tomorrow morning. Could see a few snow showers this evening, and then sunshine on Friday, 41, and then Saturday, rain showers and 47, and then Sunday, I think any kind of rain changes to snow into the afternoon and evening hours around 38 degrees. Could see an inch or two, maybe a little more of that along the coast, and then for Inauguration Day and MLK Day, sharply colder, only 25 on Monday, and then look at the single-digit lows. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, only 7 above Wednesday morning, and not even getting out of the teens on Tuesday, with a high of 19 and then 23 on Wednesday. Bitterly cold, but then it looks like temperatures do rebound by the end of the week.
Thank you, Bob. There is now a new DelDOT system. It's called clankers at the Mispillion Bridge in Milford. These are boat buoys, and their purpose is to prevent the bridge from being hit by trucks that are too tall. Now, DelDOT came up with this after the bridge had several instances of being hit. That led to repairs, also caused delays and closures on the road. The buoys just hang down at about the same height as the bridge, so they will audibly warn any drivers that their truck won't fit underneath it.
And yes, it's a good idea that they do have the warning devices now. They're letting, especially people with trailers or whatever kind of trucks or whatever they are. Hopefully there won't be any more trucks hitting the bridge.
Now, most recently, a combine truck hit the top of the bridge, causing it to temporarily close while the damage was repaired. The bridge itself, it's about 100 years old, and DelDOT says the clanker devices have already been used elsewhere in the state, and they are proving to be successful.
Coming up on Coast TV News today, a push towards a new beach patrol. We're telling you about the new budget and what one local thinks about the addition and how it'll benefit the town. Don't go anywhere.
Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
Find your next job at the Delmarva Job Fair, sponsored by the Stokely Center and the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. Join us Saturday, February 1st from 10 to 2 at Delaware Tech in Georgetown. Employers in healthcare, construction, retail, and more. Plus, the Delaware Department of Labor will also be on site for resume tips and advice to help you stand out. Take the next step in your career at this one-day hiring event. Learn more at WBOCevents.com.
Do you love to knit, weave, or crochet? Then come to the Delmarva Woolen Fiber Expo January 17th through the 19th at the Ocean City Convention Center. Dozens of artisans will be there with a wide variety of natural yarns, knitting supplies, and finished items.
There's only one place to go for your next vehicle. IG Burton Lou's Automall Chevrolet Buick GMC. Trusted since 1908 for our expert team, massive selection, and our unbeatable prices. Together, let's drive new 2024 Chevrolet Silverados up to $12,000 off MSRP, or lease a new Buick Encore GX from $269 a month. Visit us today, and remember,
nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Nobody beats an IG Burton deal.
Hey, Delaware. Bet Rivers and Valley Casino are bringing betting on football to your phone. From props and in-game betting to the spread and the money line, it's all on your phone, and it's all a touchdown. Plus, right now when you sign up, you'll get a second chance bet of up to $500. So huddle up, Delaware, with Bet Rivers, Valley Casino, and football on your phone. Download the app today.
Get the Coast TV News app. The latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
We've been covering the ongoing construction for the Rehoboth Beach Patrol Station. Now the contractor is releasing some new budget numbers and a timeline for when it will be done. Construction is on schedule for May 16th. The budget not so much on schedule. According to city documents, the contractor's original budget was $4.8 million, but documents now show the current total sits closer to $5.6 million. Still, some people in Rehoboth Beach say they are very excited to see the new and improved building.
Anytime you can improve, especially a tourist town, it's a good thing for everybody.
Next week, there will be a topping off ceremony. That's where city staff, commissioners, and Beach Patrol alumni all get a chance to sign a part of that new station.
Looking forward to that. First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey back with us. A jump up in temperatures a little bit along the coast, but certainly not enough to break out those shorts, right?
No, I mean, you can if you want, but proceed carefully because it's not going to be that warm. But we do warm it up at the beaches today. Assateague and Chincoteague starting out very cold in the low 20s, but we do warm above freezing into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon with an increase in clouds. Waves around 2 to 3 feet. Fenwick Island and Ocean City starting out really cold in the teens. We're increasing the clouds, and then by afternoon around 35, so melting off a lot of that snow. On the Bayside, 35 in Cambridge today, 41 Friday, 47 on Saturday with some rain showers. And then Crisfield, you see a warming trend too. Upper 30s today to 40 Friday, and then 45 on Saturday with showers into the weekend and maybe ending as some snow on Sunday, then brutally cold next week. I'll have an update on that coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Bob. Also coming up after the break, Millsboro safety measures. We're telling you how the city is asking DelDOT for help.
Parting ways with the president will tell you how President Biden is highlighting his half-century in public service and his thoughts on the future of the nation.
And Code Purple comes to help the homeless. We're going to tell you where to find multiple locations across Delmarva as the temperatures continue to dip into the teens. Coast TV will be right back.
Start the new year off generously by giving to those in need on Delmarva. Coast Country Cares is hosting a Code Purple Drive on Saturday, January 18th at Boulevard Ford in Lewis. Stop by from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to donate non-perishable food items, warm clothing, cleaning supplies, and more for shelters and those who need it most this winter. For a complete list of items for January 18th, go to coastcountry.com. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
When choosing a granite countertop, choose one for real life and beauty. No matter what life throws at them, they'll look beautiful forever. Ancient Art Stone invites you to discover the affordability of granite and upgrade your home to the beautiful works of art from Ancient Art Stone. Centrally located in Milford, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva to make your dreams a reality. Visit us and allow our devoted professionals to craft, fabricate, and install a superior finished product that will transform your home into a work of art.
At Delaware Electric Cooperative, safety is our top priority, and we need your help to keep employees safe. When you see our team working along area roadways, please slow down and move over. Delaware law requires drivers to reduce speed and move over when approaching working utility vehicles. If you can't move into other lanes, drive at least 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. Do your part to make sure our crews go home safe to their families every day. Slow down. Move over. It's the law.
With more than 25 years of surgical expertise, Dr. Julie Berry is now accepting new patients at Tidal Health Ear, Nose, and Throat Surgery. Dr. Berry offers specialized care for a wide range of general ear, nose, and throat disorders. Whether you're dealing with chronic sinus issues or require advanced surgical intervention, Dr. Berry is here to provide expert care tailored to your specific needs. Discover the difference that expert care can make. Schedule your appointment today.
Now on CoastTV News.
Biden bids farewell. There were several mixed messages in the 46th president's address to the nation, just days away from the end of his term.
It's clear and cold now, then increasing clouds and temperatures creeping above the freezing mark this afternoon. A few snow showers possible this evening, even milder heading into the weekend with showers and maybe some Sunday snow. Details coming up.
Shelter from the cold will tell you where you can go if you need a warm place to sleep as temperatures continue to drop.
Millsboro traffic trouble as the town continues to grow. What officials there are now asking DelDOT to deal with growing congestion.
This is CoastTV News Today.
January 16th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
Time is 6:31. It is Thursday morning, and we just saw Lisa just a moment ago in those cold conditions.
Yes, I remember those days, and I don't envy Elisa this morning.
I think she enjoyed her time here yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Better than today, but we
Probably.
can ask her later.
Yeah. Elisa, you're doing great if you can hear us. Good job. But, if you aren't Elisa, don't go outside today, perhaps. Just run to your car, bundle up. But we're going to bring in Bob right now. Bob, not a great day to just kind of sit outside this morning.
No, I wouldn't be sitting outside or taking a leisurely walk as it is pretty cold. Elisa mentioned she's looking at upper teens where she is, and I checked my home station in Millsboro, 12 degrees there right now. It's 11 in Redden, 13 in Salisbury. So, boy, those temperatures tanking. 14 in Seaford, 18 Bethany Beach, 17 in Rehoboth. Thankfully, the winds have backed off. They're basically calm inland areas, a little bit of a breeze along the coast. So it feels like temperatures pretty much like the actual temperatures, just plain cold out there. As we're looking at clear skies and still watch for some slick spots on the secondary roads, we are watching clouds increasing from the west through D.C., and that'll be the case today. There's snow across the Ohio Valley ahead of a warm front. Could see some snow showers in our neck of the woods for this evening. But this morning, it's mostly clear, warming from the teens into the 20s, and winds do shift to the southwest. So by 12:30, we're at freezing in Millsboro and a lot of other locations. And as we go deeper into the afternoon, mid-30s around 3 o'clock, we do cloud it up with more melting snow at that time. And then this evening, temperatures back below the freezing mark with more refreeze. Here's a DriveCast. Gave it the yellow light for the morning commute. Cold and dry. Warm up the car, bundle up the kids. And then for the afternoon and evening, wet roads with temperatures above freezing and then refreezing this evening. So be extra careful out there.
Will do, Bob. Thank you. And Bob mentioned it. Cold morning all across Delmarva. We're looking at some road conditions in Millsboro right now. This area, 113 meeting the John J. Williams Highway. Woo, there it goes. Just made a switch. That side looks a little busier than we last checked in. Matt, you're looking at Ocean City.
Paige, here we are, high above Coastal Highway, and you can see not as much traffic there as what you saw in Millsboro, but the bright lights of Ocean City, and you can see in the medians, maybe in some of the land area, the ice and snow. Maybe a little bit of melting today as we continue with these very cold conditions.
And while that cold can put everyone at risk for, getting sick, it is especially dangerous for those who are homeless.
Yeah, CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Lewis. She's at one of the Code Purple shelters in our area. These are for people who do not have a warm place to stay. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Paige. I just checked my phone to see the temperature outside in Lewis right now, and it's saying that's about 18 degrees. Even just standing out here for a few minutes is uncomfortable, so it's hard to imagine what it would be like to sleep outside in these conditions. And right now I'm standing in Lewis at the St. Jude the Apostle Church, which is actually one of the many Code Purple shelters here in Sussex County. And these Code Purple shelters open their doors to the homeless so that they can have a warm place to sleep and escape some of these harsh temperatures that we are experiencing. And Code Purple not only provides a warm place to sleep, but also a safe and cozy atmosphere for these individuals. The organization has shelters in Seaford, Lewis, Georgetown, Milford, and Rehoboth Beach. We spoke with the site director for Code Purple at the Cape about the importance of keeping these shelters running.
It's going to be cold out, I think, for at least another month. So we expect this to continue for some time, where the temperatures are at nighttime below freezing. But we'll certainly keep an eye on it and try to accommodate. There's no one waiting at the door right now. So as we're getting the word out that we have more beds, the beds are filling up.
Most of the shelters start check-in around 8:30 p.m. and are open until 7 a.m. Back to you.
Lisa, thank you. We're now going to take a live look at our nation's capital, D.C. right there. There's the White House in the front. It was only hours ago that President Biden gave his farewell speech after spending 50 years serving the public. The president highlighting some of his administration's achievements while also delivering a series of warnings for the future of the country. Most notably, what he says is unchecked power in the presidency. The president also wishing the incoming Trump administration success. He concluded his remarks by thanking the American people.
My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure.
And that speech came hours after what might be a crowning foreign policy achievement of his, announcing a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. However, Biden leaves the office with extremely low approval ratings, but he believes history will judge his legacy kindly.
And before his work in the White House, President Biden spent decades serving the people of Delaware. In 1972, he was elected as U.S. Senator. It made him the youngest Delawarean to ever serve in the Senate. In 1991, he helped return at least 1,100 acres of previously Army and Navy-controlled coastal land back to Delaware. 2008, he was elected vice president, the highest office ever held by a Delawarean under the Constitution of his presidency. And in 2020, after a very close race that took 4 days to determine, he was elected president. Happening now, Israel and Hamas appear to have reached a deal ending 15 months of fighting in the Gaza Strip. It started when Hamas brutally invaded Israel, beheading people, killing babies by putting them in ovens, and kidnapping Israelis and some Americans. Now, the agreement is expected to free dozens of those who were kidnapped in exchange for Palestinian terrorists as well as other Palestinians in Israeli jails. The deal marks the first real break in violence since a week-long truce expired in December of 2023. It follows weeks of talks and setbacks. New this morning, we have some images of a big crash that happened in Lewis. This is on Beaver Dam Road just a couple of hours ago, just before 1 a.m. And what you're seeing here is the Lewis Fire Department on the scene. At least 2 vehicles were involved, causing this part of the road to be closed. Information still limited at this time, and we will update the Coast TV app and website as we learn more.
Slow down in Millsboro, a change to the speed limit is under consideration. The town's been requesting that DelDOT immediately pursue multiple traffic safety measures as the population there continues to grow.
Also in Millsboro, Coast TV news reporter Zakia Jennings shows us what those safety measures are and what the problem seems to be.
Consistent traffic on Route 24. Now add cars trying to turn into that consistent traffic. That's what's happening at the intersection of Route 24 and Plantation Lakes, a new housing development. Millsboro's town council requested that DelDOT immediately pursue various traffic safety and traffic control measures. DelDOT's Director of Community Relations, C.R. McLeod, shared with Coast TV that a traffic study is leading them to those safety measures.
One of the outcomes of that was that we will be adding a new traffic signal at that intersection.
And McLeod says DelDOT isn't stopping there.
The town has also asked us to just evaluate the posted speed limit and look at whether a reduction in speed could also help address some of the safety concerns in that area.
Barbara Heverin says this is something her community desperately needs, especially as Millsboro grows in size.
I think we really need it because it takes us like probably 5 minutes just to get out of the development to wait for traffic from both sides. We definitely need a red light there.
Now I'm standing here on the corner at the intersection of Route 24 and Plantation Lakes. And as you can see behind me, it does take cars a minute to actually be able to turn this corner safely. DelDOT says they are in the process of creating design plans for this intersection, but there is no specific timeline as to when the traffic signal will go up, but it will be in 2025. In Millsboro, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
We are going to stay in Millsboro for this next story. An East Millsboro elementary school teacher wins a big award. Jason Orland was named a recipient of the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching.
Purdue Farms has agreed to pay $4 million for reported child labor violations at its poultry processing plant in Accomack, Virginia.
An investigation from the U.S. Department of Labor found that Purdue worked with a third-party staffing agency and employed children in hazardous roles.
The report found that some of the children were also found to be working past 7 p.m. on school nights. Purdue has agreed to a series of compliance measures.
Meanwhile, last week, the Georgetown-Purdue plant triggered a hazmat response. That's when chemicals were mistakenly mixed together by a supplier, and Delaware continues to investigate that incident. Still got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, time's up for TikTok. We're telling you about the potential efforts to save the social media app as we're only 3 days away from a government ban.
Also, fierce wrestling face-off, how Delaware dominated the heavier weight classes in their match against Sussex Academy.
And it's the first day of Dreamfest in Ocean City. We're going to tell you what you can expect from the event in honor of the civil rights activist Martin Luther King ahead of the holiday next week. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Many parents assume that the vision screening at the pediatrician's office is all that's required. While vision screening is an important first step, it's not the same as a comprehensive eye exam. There are some serious eye diseases that are not detected at a regular screening. The American Optometric Association advises that the first eye exam be at the age of 3.
Dr. Tracy Boss is accepting new patients, including pediatrics, at Chesapeake Eye Centers in Salisbury and Berlin. For more about Chesapeake Eye, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Welcome to Kelly's Outdoors, your local outdoor superstore in Millsboro. We carry everything you need this hunting season, from waterfowling gear to deer hunting essentials, bows, tree stands, ammo, and apparel from brands like Drake and Nomad. We also have a wide selection of saltwater and freshwater fishing gear and crabbing supplies for your next day on the water. Kelly's Outdoors now has a wide supply of guns, pistols, and rifles from Rattay, Browning, Winchester, Savage, Beretta, Sig, Springfield, and Smith & Wesson. Before your next outdoor adventure, visit Kelly's Outdoors in Millsboro today.
Coverage on the road, along the coast, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
Solo Cup Saturday night with me, Jared, 7 to 9 every Saturday on Coast Country, 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Midshore Recyclers Incorporated.
Get the Coast TV First Alert Weather app with live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app, sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
Looking at a cold morning out there. Here's Laurel, now 10 degrees. I saw it at 9 degrees earlier. That's the ice box so far this morning. It is just frigid out there. Bundle up. At least the winds are calm right now. And temperatures, 9 in Redden. I saw about 12 in Millsboro, 13 in Salisbury. And as we saw in Laurel, upper single digits as we're looking at calm and cold conditions. Thankfully, the winds are not blowing that much. Feels like temperatures, single digits and teens. Bundle up with clear skies. We will see increasing clouds as we go through the morning hours, already seeing those clouds increasing back towards D.C. What size coffee? Oh, it's this cold. You have to go XL. And a little Balupa cream for me. Not as cold today, 35. And we will melt some of that snow this afternoon. And congratulations to Bobby from Millsboro. Bobby is the new owner of a brand new umbrella, courtesy of Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Nice. All right. Hey, don't forget there's a chance to give blood this weekend at the movies at Midway. All donors Saturday will get a free movie ticket. The blood bank says that the winter months can be especially difficult for donations.
Sounds like fun and a good cause. I got another one here, Paige. Get ready for the Lewis Polar Bear Plunge benefiting Special Olympics. It's taking place Saturday, February 2nd, 1 p.m. And even though it's called the Lewis Plunge, this actually happens at Rehoboth Beach. What we're showing you on your screen is a past plunge, and that's the 5K. This year marks the 34th plunge. It's raised over $17 million for athletes with intellectual disabilities since it started in 1992, and the event Includes a weekend of fun activities like that 5K. Also, there is sand sculpting and the big plunge happening Sunday. And I, once again, will be the announcer for the 5K on Saturday the 1st.
Happening today, it's the first day for Dreamfest in Ocean City, the town's second annual weekend-long celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Ahead of MLK Day Monday, there's going to be some live music, art exhibitions, and some family-friendly activities. And don't forget, this runs all weekend long.
CoastTV is your home for Eagles NFL divisional round playoff action. On Sunday, the Birds are home at the field in South Philly, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. On your screen right there, that's Saquon Barkley and Paige. Like you,
Yeah.
I will be watching Saquon run all over the Rams.
I won't.
Coverage here on CoastTV begins at 2.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. It was Wrestling Wednesday last night in Delaware. It's a Henlopen South battle between the Seahawks and the Wildcats. We're going to move to the Henlopen South Division. It's Sussex Academy in the Wildcat Den. Starting off in the 126 weight class, it's Reese Farr of Delmar battling Mason Shade of Sussex Academy. Farr holds Shade in a pin to win the match, making the score 18-3. In 138, it's Noah Solis of Delmar battling Andy Roblero of Sussex Academy. Roblero swoops in, grabs Solis by the leg, takes him down to the mat. Roblero goes on to win the match for the Seahawks. In the 144 weight class, it's Jazz Sneed of Delmar battling Gabriel Hill of Sussex Academy. Sneed grabs a hold of Hill, brings him down. Sneed goes on to win the match for the Wildcats. In the 157 weight class, it's Teddy Agoff of Delmar battling Enrico DeSalvo of Sussex Academy. Agoff holds DeSalvo in a pin and wins the match, making the score 38-9. In the 175 weight class, Damian Bergarian battling of Horton, Sussex Academy. Horton holds Berrigan in a pin to win and makes that match come out on top. But the score would be going to Delmar in the victory, 56-21. Battle for Sports. Have a great day, everybody.
And coming up tonight on DSN, don't forget, game of the night is at 6:30. Vikings taking on Stephen Decatur in boys basketball. Then for a recap of the action, tune into the final score at 10:30. Over on your exclusive DSN Plus app, 4 p.m., Kent Island takes on Queen Anne's girls basketball. 5:30, Crisfield facing up against Washington in girls basketball. Then in boys basketball, 5:45, Laurel taking on Lake Forest. 7 p.m., Smyrna taking on Sussex Tech, also in boys basketball.
A frigid start, to say the least, across Delmarva. Right now, 17 in Ocean View. We will melt some of that snow today as temperatures rise above the freezing mark. Maybe some flurries this evening and then warmer into the weekend. Rain showers Saturday, maybe some snow on Sunday, then brutally cold next week. Your forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on Coast TV. See the beauty of Delmarva from a bird's eye view. Soaring over the shore, Mondays on Coast TV News at 6. Sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then up to 150 pounds of torque knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Team. Our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We are Delmarva proud.
Weather brought to you by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to excellence in Delaware and Maryland.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew is a good crew. Really fine people, are professional, and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Time is now 6:50 on your cold Thursday morning. We are taking a live look right now at Laurel. We had a cool sunrise last time we checked out Laurel, Bob. It looks like a big just dome, like that Teletubbies sun coming out to warm us up and melt some of that snow.
Don't know what that is, but that looks like a huge sun coming up. The sun's not that big, but we're looking at sunrise in about a half hour to warm us up from these single digits and teens that we're starting out this morning. Brutally cold start to our day, and we're looking at warmer conditions as we go through the day. Still cold, mid-30s, but we will melt some snow and possibly some evening snow showers. Then we fast forward to the weekend, a milder Saturday with showers, colder Sunday, and I think we could be looking at some accumulating snow Sunday afternoon and evening. But first things first, it is really cold. We saw Laurel earlier around 9 degrees. It's 9 in Redden right now. This is without the wind. 11 in Ocean Pines, 12 in Millsboro, 18 in Bethany Beach, 17 in Rehoboth. And I know Lisa during her live shot says she was about 17 or 18 degrees. So very cold, but at least the winds are calm or very light. So we're not looking at brutally bad feels like temperatures, but still feeling like single digits and teens. As we're looking at mainly clear skies right now, we are starting to see clouds increasing. You can see this white area moving across the I-95 corridor, eventually across Chesapeake Bay, and we will see increasing clouds as we go through the morning hours. So enjoy the sunshine. It won't be around long as we're seeing snow across the Ohio Valley, a warm front just to the west of that, and this is air that's coming off the Pacific, so it's warmer, not specifically warm. It's warmer as the Arctic air is locked up in Canada for a little while after this moves out. But here's Futurecast. We're very cold into the teens and lower 20s this morning, mid-morning, mid-20s. Clouds are thickening up, and by noon around 31 to 32 degrees. We're starting to melt that snow. Winds kicking out of the southwest around 34 in Millsboro, around 3 o'clock, 35 in Longneck, 34 in Ocean City. And then as we go into this evening, those temperatures settle back to near freezing, so anything that melts will refreeze as we see the clouds, and I think we could see a few snow showers or snow flurries as we go into the evening hours. Not expecting anything in the way of accumulation as temperatures staying, well, a little milder than they have been, right around the freezing mark. And then into Friday morning, we're looking at temperatures into the 20s and 30s. Then I think 30s and low 40s with sunshine on Friday as we're melting more snow. As those feels like temperatures starting out in the teens and then into the mid-20s this afternoon. They do improve as we go through tonight and feeling like teens and 20s into your Friday morning, so not as brutal as it has been. And then by Friday afternoon, feeling like mid-30s. We have changes heading into the weekend. Our flow turns out of the south as we go into Saturday. We warm up, so I think we're just looking at rain as we go into Saturday afternoon. Then we'll see a front moving through on Sunday, and I think we'll see a little disturbance rippling along that front with rain and maybe some snow and maybe a burst of heavier snow along coastal areas of Maryland, maybe around Assateague, Chincoteague, up towards Ocean City, maybe Bethany Beach. The farther inland you go, it looks like the lighter it will be. So we'll be watching that for Sunday evening, and then that snow will taper off, and then that brutally cold air starts to build in. Here's a European model's take on how much snow we could see, maybe upwards of 2 to 3 inches along the coast, with about an inch inland areas around Millsboro and lighter amounts off to the north and west. We'll be fine-tuning that, but we do know that brutally cold air will be building in next week, especially as we go into the Tuesday through Thursday time period. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 35 melting some snow today, sunshine Friday 41, and then 47 rain Saturday. Colder on Sunday, 38 with rain changing to some accumulating snow. Then for inauguration and MLK Day, only 25. And look at those single-digit lows beginning Tuesday morning. High only 19 on Tuesday and 23 with sunshine on Wednesday.
All right, Bob, thank you. TikTok may be getting some extra ticks of the clock to avoid going dark. The social media app could find a lifeline in President-elect Donald Trump. Right now, it will be banned if they can't secure an American buyer by Sunday. But some sources say Trump is considering giving TikTok more time to cut a deal. It's now 6:54 this morning, and it's time for us to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is this snow-loving dog. On your screen, you can see this pup really enjoying some of that icy cold snow when it's here, and this picture was submitted to us by Denise in Seaford.
We want to see all your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes your pet so special. Take a look at your screen.
Yeah, that's where the QR code is. If you scan that, you can get your friends to us here at Coast TV News and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. We'll be right back.
Michael Anderson of Anderson Wealth Management has the strategies you need to help plan your retirement. Catch Wise Money right here on WRDE.
Hi y'all, it's April from Coast Country, and every Tuesday I get the honor of highlighting an amazing teacher right here on Delmarva with Teacher Feature. If you know a teacher who deserves some extra love, those who go above and beyond every day, head to coastcountry.com and nominate them today. Then tune in each Tuesday to hear their story. Teacher Feature right here every Tuesday at 11 on Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. Sponsored by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning and Vernon Powell Shoes.
Flashing lights. See them, and you know to go slow. Now we put that same technology in the palm of your hand with Lizard Flare. It's the high-tech safety flare with no flame. Lizard Flare uses 15 high-intensity LED strobes that can be seen nearly a mile away, and a powerful magnet that sticks to your car without exiting the vehicle. Look, flares are dangerous, but Lizard Flare won't let you down. A dead battery, an empty gas tank. With Lizard Flare, help is on the way. Lizard Flare Pro has an ultra-bright flashlight too.
Get your Lizard Flare for only $9.99, but wait, Lizard Flare may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Lizard Flare is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There is a strict limit of 2 vehicle packs per order. Call now.
This may be your last chance, so call 1-800-604-4696. That's 1-800-604-4696 or visit lizardflare.com now.
Come out for the Delmarva Shorebirds Hot Stove Banquet, Thursday, January 30th at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. Get your tickets today, which includes a buffet-style dinner and your opportunity to meet Orioles manager Brandon Hyde. Plus, there'll be a cash bar and silent auction with sports memorabilia from your favorite MLB and minor league teams. Proceeds benefit the Shorebirds Fly Together Fund. Tickets available now at theshorebirds.com. Get the Coast TV News app, the latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
Cold out the door this morning, single digits and teens, bundle up, but we do warm up today as temperatures warm into the mid-30s, around 35, so we will melt some snow. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, evening snow showers, otherwise dry Friday, rain on Saturday 47, rain and snow on Sunday, MLK Inauguration Day 25, and then brutally cold after that. Have a great morning.